Winners finals of the $36,000 plus pro European 2v2 tournaments. And of course, we got the freaking size wrong again. I swear it's somehow not my fault. Tempo and Edgeby versus Hogan mode in the orange. Winner advances to the grand finals. Losers lose one of their lives and have to try and fight their way back. Lots of money on the line. And Tempo at this point, I mean, do we even bring it up anymore? You'll notice he is not on the Dominus anymore. Ooh, what is this decal from Rezi? Have I seen this one before? This looks very scoreable, but Edgeby wasn't able to get enough underneath it, I think. Tempo save into the crossbar, but a quick follow-up from Rezi. And it's 1-1. You blame New Feer for the new Tempo. By the way, we need to reset this series. This one just started. Tempo sidewall double straight to Rezi, who is thinking twice about his air dribble because of the Edgeby pre-jump. Jackpot Roper, they give us 7 months. 7 months too long, he says. You think we're holding you hostage here? You don't have to keep subscribing. Shot slammed into the crossbar. Growly single jumps. Ooh, pinched away. And now it's actually directly to Edgeby in the midfield. And he will boom it towards the nets. Edgeby right in the right position. What you thought was a save turned out to be a nice counterattack. 6-7 clan by Rezi. Guys, I don't know what the 6-7 thing is. We talked about this yesterday, how I had to Google it. Because chat was like saying it so much. There, like, the 1v1 matches or something were 6-7 a few times. Because it's a pretty like common, I would imagine, 1v1 scoreline. As Rezi and Growly counterattack. But I was like, people are talking about it like it's more than just 6-7. Like, I don't know. I don't know why they're making such a big deal. So anyways, found out it was a TikTok thing. Which I do not use. All that to be said, you guys might have mentioned I had strep throat recently. I've been taking medicine for it. There's a 6 and a 7. I don't get it. Why is there a 6 and a 7 on the medicine? I'm taking 6-7 pills. Does that make me cool? For all the youngsters who seem to love that. Tempo. I'm 6-7 pilled, you could say. You definitely could say that. Who invented the 6-7 joke and why? My understanding is it might be a little bit of a DSC situation where the more questions you ask, the less you understand it. So I'm not sure you should ask too much. Tempo not able to power through the challenge at all. Edgeby out to Tempo. This would be a dangerous situation if Tempo had a little bit more boost. He's going to try and make something out of it with what he does have. Growly! Disaster class from Growly as he just doubles this ball right back into the perfect position for Edgeby. Rezi unable to double in the tying goal. Rezi, gets over the top of one. I believe there was a demo on the next up. So nobody left to make a play, even though Edgeby bumped Rezi off the ball. And it's 3-3 with 45 seconds left to go. Six-seven song, also known as 6-7 meme, refers to the song Doot Doot by Skrilla. Chat, am I old? Am I old, or is the song Doot Doot by Skrilla something that I just could never appreciate? I haven't even heard the song yet, but Edge beat to tempo at 0 seconds. No, we're headed to OT, game number 1. Maybe it is a good song. I guess you never know. Edgeby getting a little air underneath the ball to set up tempo off the ceiling. Who slams it into the ground and bounces it in. A nice team play from the Danes. As tempo plays keep away. Even a soft touch there right before getting to the ceiling and then redirecting it around the last defender. GG's spammed galore as game number 1 goes to tempo Edgeby. Game number 2. Tempo out to Edgeby, reset first touch. No one's going to be there to follow because Tempo had no boost when he made his original setup. Growly tried to kind of chip it up back towards Rezi, I think, to get something going. But Rezi maybe not fully ready for it. Yeah, he had driven past that position. And so it's free for Tempo and Edgeby. Rezi just barely not able to pinch that on target. Dig and YMC, I think, are still playing. It has not been reported either way as a win for either team. Growly gonna dunk to send one off to the side. I can put winners finals here in the header for anyone who wants to know what stage of the tournament we're here at. Growly trying to undercut as Rezi goes to work. Not sure he fully succeeded in slowing them down too much. As Edgeby's going to roll one off the back wall. Growly missing his front flip. Or maybe not. Maybe he just wanted to leave it off for Rezi, who is going to dunk it straight in. 0 boost left over. But there is no movement here from the challenge from Tempo. He just sends it directly back to Rezi, who had fallen off the ball for a perfect 50, and it's 1-1. Quick kickoff, and just like that, Hogan mode are in the lead. Rezi maybe slightly trying to lose the kickoff, it would seem. Edgeby drops the ball as he sees the challenge coming, leaving it off for his teammates. Instead of trying to 50 with it and maybe sending it much more volatility out of control. Now Tempo has one to get around here early, but Growly and use the ceiling in order to get a solid challenge. Edgeby slow playing to get past one. Chip sits to the other. Edgeby getting undercut now. Rezi and Growly both with all the boosts in the tank. Everything they could want. Rezi's going to go completely solo. And Edgeby is able to clean it up after Tempo gets bumped. Now back the other way. Dangerous position for the English team. Edgeby and Tempo just barely can't connect, and now they're out of boosts. But it seems like so is the English team as they just hook shot a clear. And now it's Tempo and Edgeby back the other way. Tempo and Rezi perfectly tied for the 50. Rezi saw it coming. Growly got bumped off of an angle where he could double. And there should be respawning defenders before Rezi can do anything about it. Tempo 50. Edgeby wasn't quite ready. Hard to expect that perfect of a 50 win. He did pre-flip out to get the best shot he could. By that time, Growly and Rezi had covered it. Edgeby on the side wall. Gets a second reset in order to use it for a 50, but it still pops up for Growly, who's on 0. Tried to go for reset Musty, didn't get it. Rezi went all in. Growly's on 0. This counterattack is going to be really dangerous. Tempo first touch catch. As a reset, drops down, straight bump. The net is open for Edgeby, but he had to leave to go get boost. He couldn't take a quick shot because he had dove into the corner to get 100 and got back too late. Tempo drops this one down. And Growly able to cut it off. Tempo bump. That will not do it. Growly makes a save and actually sends it off the post directly into Rezi to help clear it out even more. Edgeby shots met by Rezi on the crossbar. And Tempo just barely not losing control as he side flips to get a decent 50. But now he loses control of this one to the back wall. Demo does an own goal. 18 seconds left to go. Growly just looks at the ball, or sorry, the car and not the ball, and goes for a demo. This reset up high. Can Tempo and Edgeby find a way to counterattack and keep the ball in the air with 5 seconds left to go? Tempo passed to himself off the ceiling. Could not get the bump. That one is going to hit ground, and game number 2 is going to go to Hogan mode. Game number 3. Tempo to the ceiling as Edgeby tries to create a little bit of space for him, but he wasn't able to nestle it into the top left there. Tempo, great play off the back wall from above the ball. Cuts off the angle with ease. Growly overpassing across the nets. Growly is way upfield looking for demos. Rezi is so far back. He's not even going to be anywhere close to shooting for minutes. And Growly is still upfield. But this is going to pay off. They have themselves a good possession. Growly, nice redirects. Instead of going for demos, he instead just changes the direction of the ball. And that'll do even better. Although he threatened the demo there for a second too, which I think played into it. Rezi gonna 50 this to the side wall where Growly is at. And air dribble towards the top corner. Ground pinch from Tempo. This is a classic. He finds a way to use it in 2v2 in open field, and not just when he has a wide open net in ones. A demo ahead, just needs to accelerate the ball to the nets. Tempo, great follow-up 50 after being forced to lose the ball on the initial challenge. Tempo just barely able to catch and cut this one away. Now can he play it quickly enough? Oh, Rezi was ready for it. Whenever you have someone on 0 boost on your back wall, you're going to see both players doing their best to force the issue, see if they can't capitalize on the 2v1. And oftentimes the right play as that last back can be to challenge nice and early before you get stuck in a true 2v1. My goodness, what a shot from Growly. Growly getting the resets with his last little bit of boost and just knows how to get the finishes. He's a 10th anniversary pentathlon winner as well. Tempo. Air dribble sent to the back wall. Edgeby's not going to be able to get that strong of a shot. He's pretty far out and him with very low boost. So the in and out save will work as Hogan mode are in the lead. Edgeby, nice interception. Another situation where if he had just a little bit more boost, could have used it to get out there and finish off his own play. Now he's going to have to try and pass the Tempo. Cleaned up by Hogan mode, who are surviving right now, keeping their lead off of a really strong attack from the Danish team. Rezi forced to flick away to escape a demo. Tempo as Edgeby in the midfield has Rezi floating down from ceiling heights. Tempo wants an air dribble bump. Edgeby this time probably did have the boost to follow it up, but easily cleaned up off the backboard. Tempo, dunk to drop the ball straight down. But Growly is there, and it's not worth the dive, although within a few seconds it's going to start becoming worth the dive. And I think we're going to see a little bit more all-in play from the blue squad because they need something to happen. Tempo misses Edgeby. Can he double this in? He will! This time, the backboard is not protected by Hogan mode. They've done such a good job of never allowing these doubles. Tempo, dude, Tempo redirected it into Edgeby. That is ridiculous. I don't understand how that's even possible for Edgeby to read. He was already up, and Tempo, he didn't fake the double. He hit it. He slightly redirected it into Edgeby. And Edgeby able to finish it off. Two. Pivotal game 3. Growly trying to shoot from ceiling heights. Doesn't find anything. Rezi's going to catch a demo, so it's going to be a bit of space for Hogan mode as we approach the final seconds. Maybe not the setup that Growly wanted, although he does have a huge boost advantage as Tempo used all of his to cut it off. This shot should be easily handled, and it is. And Growly, I think, almost even made a mistake by putting that midfield because now it's going to allow Tempo and Edgeby to get something going. Although with Tempo dying, it could end if they wanted to, but Growly and Rezi going to keep it up. Rezi, now it's hitting ground. Surely it's hitting ground now, though it was about to roll in to be a goal if it wasn't 0 seconds. 2-2 OT. Prolongation. Growly chipping it up straight down the field for Rezi, who has a reset. Edgeby helping out his teammates, but they have both committed to this save. Growly launching one high to the backboard, one he was never going to be able to follow. Rezi challenged at the moment of resets. Edgeby, not the best play. He is going to be able to make up for it as he gets the follow-up clear. It's Growly and Rezi right back on the attack. Tempo having to leave net for a moment to get boost. Edgeby cuts off the shot. Tempo has something to work with now when it does become time to make his play, and that is this moment here. Growly clear into his own corner. Big win. Rezi puts that ball to Growly, who somehow had the read. I thought there was a chance Edgeby was going to be there, but he must have been aware that Edgeby had left. The ball is sitting directly in front of the net. Growly will finish it. And it's 3-2. Hogan mode going up 2-1. Huge 50 from Rezi. Blocks it and keeps the ball in a great position. Game number 4. This one's been back and forth. Are we headed to a series that'll go the distance? Growly looking to try and be a pest as Hogan mode back on offense. Hogan mode have looked, at times like the much better team. Even when there's been good chances. Nice save from Edgeby. It feels like Hogan mode have been able to handle it a lot easier than Tempo and Edgeby, who seem to struggle to keep Growly and Rezi out. I know it ended up being an overtime game, but here Growly easily able to clear it away. Hands a freebie over to Tempo, but able to force him to go high. Edgeby slightly out of position. We'll have to reset. Rezi pre-jumps and floats in the air to drop this one down to Growly. Soft shots. Collected, controlled. Fake touch from Edgeby. Tempo in the air. You could hear Growly was already up, though. Challenging, trying to make it easier on that last back defender. It's goal line 50s. Not easy to win. And we're going to stay at 0-0 with Tempo and Edgeby on the attack. That shot is going to end the possession, though, as it'll be easily cleared and controlled. Oh, this net is wide open, though, and it'll be the first goal. Tempo past Edgeby. Growly just going out to grab boost when he needed to be worrying about getting to the net and stopping the shot. Fake kickoff for Hogan mode. Does force Tempo into the air on 0 boosts. So still not a failure of a kickoff as they are on offense with a potential chance, but Tempo, great catch on the back wall. He just sent himself down to the ground. Pogo! That would have been sick if he had found a way to bounce back off the ground and make a play. This shot actually well placed in order to get the defender to miss. You want to get the defender off the back wall, get them floating, and then take the real shots. If you shoot this early, Rezi probably saves it. Instead, Tempo goes backboard and allows Edgeby to get the goal. Dignitas did advance past YMC. They're in their next round right now. Rezi sends one straight to the ceiling. Was that not scoreable for Growly? Might have been an awkward angle. There was no one back in net to stop him. Rezi against Tempo in a 1v1. Guys, I'm not mad at you. I'm commentating the game. Listen, if you guys want to type, cat carrying bag plus cat out of the bag equals cat in the bag, like that's funny. In fact, I heavily prefer that to someone makes a whiff. Oh my goodness, this player is so bad. I hope they die, which is like oftentimes what will replace that if that's not there. So So yes, I'm gonna keep commentating at times, guys. I'm not gonna directly address your cat bag plus cat out of the bag equals cat in the bag message, and that's okay. Some people are here just for the Rocket League, believe it or not. So we can just have both worlds. Rezi, nice speed to the backboard. Growly's so worried about the save, though, that he sent the follow-up to the crossbar, and it'll be 3-0, and I think we're going game 5. Edgeby pre-flip. There's nothing I can do. I just you can't escape when someone tells you you're mad. There's no way out. No matter what you say. Oh, that's exactly what someone who's mad would say. I'm stuck here forever. You guys just need to put the cat in the bag, okay? You need to stop talking about all this and just put the cat in the bag. Game 5! Tempo Edgeby versus Growly Rezi. Being slightly delayed as they want to get one on the goal. Oh, brutal. Does that hurt or help your momentum going forward? Game number 5. Growly trying to send one top shelf early on. Will get denied. Defensive demo going to lead to another opportunity. Now a little bit more of an offensive demo. Rezi sent this one straight to the ceiling, but no chance from Growly to be able to follow up. Tempo demo, but might not be able to convert anything off of it. If Growly gets a good enough 50. That being said, they are back the other way. Wants another demo. Rezi dodges it and gets the save. It was hard to tell, or hard to watch from director cam POV, which did not allow us to see the evasion. Nice fall from the ceiling to intercept. Rezi flick. Denied. Tempo pass to himself off the sidewall to the ceiling. All of it for nothing, though. Growly's been so good with these resets. If he gets going straight down the field, he has been able to catch out even the best of defenders with such a strong reset shots. Edgeby, you could see him shadowing. He was expecting exactly that, but still could not make the save. Tempo slams this one to the ceiling. Edgeby doesn't even want to entertain what he might do with it, so he waits it out for Rezi. That pass going to get cut off easily. Edgeby waiting out on the goal line. Makes a save. Growly looking for a demo. Gets it. Rezi still not around, so Growly has to turn around himself. And ultimately, nothing is able to happen. Rezi never wants to dive in. Allows Edgeby to set up the other way. The double is perfectly angled to get around the defenders. And it's 1-1. Tempo shoots wide enough to miss Growly on the first and connects with it far enough away from the net to not allow him to cut off any angles. Cat sitting very comfortable, but heading out on a grand space adventure. Growly makes it 2-1. Rezi just getting a little bit extra on the dribble, forcing the awkward save from Tempo, or clear, I should say. This net is wide open right now. Hogan mode pulling away in a series where we haven't even really seen 2-goal leads almost ever. Edgeby was so confident in Tempo, just all the way on the sidewall, cheating upfield, ready to make a play on what Tempo was about to do. Couldn't imagine a world in which he just loses the dunk and leaves a wide open net. Tempo bumped off this play, his team down 2 as Edgeby tries to tee up an easy shot. Doesn't succeed, gets cut off, so he's back down to the ground again. This flick too soft. Never going to work as a pass, and they're both forced to rotate. Growly looking to try and mess with defenders. Rezi's up early. Tempo forced around to the corner instead of towards the net. Edgeby back to Tempo. Tempo to the crossbar. Nobody there to follow it up. So no goal available, and Rezi gets the nice clear to send these guys back. Tempo, psycho setup, but Edgeby doesn't have any boost to work with, so I can't imagine he gets any real chance out of it. He did a decent job of passing over to Tempo, but with 1:30 left to go, one of those probably needed to go in for this Danish squad, otherwise they might be sent to the lower bracket. Tempo, nice play. He does get around and gets his team within 1. Rezi defending from close, but Tempo able to fight through that, and then Growly maybe thought Rezi had done enough and that he could just challenge the ball, not expecting another Tempo touch, but that is not what happened. So a minute now for Tempo and Edgeby to get another. This one towards the front of the nets. Denied, but it's Edgeby and Tempo still in control. Edgeby not going high. He sees the early challenge going up to the ceiling, so instead he keeps the ball low and cuts it infield. Rezi doing his best to float down. Can't stop it. Goes way over the top. And Tempo slots it to make it 3-3. Tempo. Air dribble. Oh my goodness, this net is free. Tempo Growly met with a bump. Rezi, I mean, there must have been another bump there. I have to go see what happened with Growly. Surely Growly was trying to rotate back. Rezi maybe needed to win that corner play and just didn't. So the net was wide open. Now all of a sudden, the Danish squad in the lead. Rezi wants a miracle pinch to get his team back into it. That is not what it was. Sent straight to the ceiling. Growly out to Rezi, who does get the beats, but at what cost? Can only really pick up boost. Ooh, nice bump. To actually get something out of this. Growly in a 1v1 versus Edgeby. Got nothing though. Needed to get a better outplay. Instead, it's going to be Tempo and Edgeby. Tempo on the respawn. Launches it the length of the field. They should be able to keep it up at least for a bit because nobody on the blue team is around. Growly to the skies. Edgeby steals it away. Rezi has to put it in reverse. Put it in reverse, Rezi. Not going to be enough. Tempo and Edgeby will go to the grand finals. Hogan mode sent to the lower bracket.